welcome to the class. In this series of videos, we are talking about intellectual property rights. This series is made intending to help those who are beginners of study of intellectual property rights, and therefore all these videos will cover the basic concept of various aspects of intellectual property rights. Okay, so we can say it is an introduction to intellectual property rights. Okay, so let's see in this video, this is the part 1 of the series. In this video, we are talking generally about intellectual property rights, its characteristics and how they have come into effect. Okay, let's see. So first we have to answer this question, what is IPR or what is intellectual property rights? Basically, the concept of intellectual property rights came because the governments wanted to recognize the creativity of human beings, therefore promoting and encouraging those who are inventing new things. Need not be only people who are inventing, those who are artistic, those who have creative ideas which can be developed for the betterment of the mankind. Okay, and therefore basically intellectual property rights are recognitions or rewards given to the creativity of mind, and therefore they are intangible. Unlike physical properties, intellectual properties cannot be touched or felt in the usual way. They are intangible. Then intellectual property rights are all about exclusivity. That means if you have an intellectual property right, it gives you an exclusive position and thereby enabling you to claim that as an exclusive personality. If you have a patent, you are the only one who is allowed to make the goods or lease the goods or license the goods which you have invented, and therefore you are exclusive. And all these intellectual property rights are about creating an exclusivity of the owner. Okay, now let's see. But at the same time, this exclusivity granted to the owner of the intellectual property right is always for a specific period of time. It is always according to the laws, and whatever is the time period set by the law, only till that period this exclusive right exists with the owner. Then most important aspect of intellectual property rights is that it is territorial. That means intellectual property rights which you have in India can be exercised only in India. If you want to have similar rights in USA, you have to go there and apply and get it. So whatever rights guaranteed by each government, each state will be applicable in that territory, and there is nothing called a universal intellectual property right. Okay, therefore it is very much territorial. And the most important aspect, dear student, maybe this is my favorite aspect of intellectual property right, it is subject to doctrine of exertion. Doctrine means principle. Okay, what is this principle of exertion? Says that you use it, it will get over. That means suppose I have a patent and I licensed it. There ends my right. Now I cannot stop the licensee from further licensing or creating or selling or hiring it, because I have already licensed it. There ends my right. So all these intellectual property rights are subject to this doctrine of exertion. You are using it and it is over. Okay, it is not like continuously or unending right is not there. Once you use it, it gets over. Doctrine of exertion is applicable to intellectual property right. Is that clear? Okay, now let's see. Intellectual property rights are spread over various areas and they are named under various heads. Say for example, the first one is patent, then copyright, trademark, geographical indications, designs, plant varieties, integrated circuits. This talks about layout design of integrated circuits. Then the last one, though we cannot say it is an exclusive intellectual property right, even trade secrets are also considered to be a part of intellectual property right. Okay, so what are they? Patents, copyrights, trademarks, geographical indications, designs, plant varieties, layout designs of integrated circuits, and trade secrets. Now, let's see how intellectual property has come into effect. Basically, there is an organization which supervises intellectual property rights all over the world, and that organization is World Intellectual Property Organization. And this organization has come into effect or formed because of two international treaties, that is Paris Convention in 1883 and Berne Convention in 1886. Both these treaties had some reference or had an idea to create an international secretariat, the implementation of intellectual property rights universally. And what happened? This international secretariat later formed an organization called WIRPI, which was later known or later became WPO or World Intellectual Property Organization. Okay, it is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. Then what is WIPO doing? WIPO is doing mainly two functions. That is, it talks about international registration. Rather, it facilitates international registration. I told you intellectual property rights are very much territorial. And therefore, you want a patent in India, you have to apply here. You want a patent in USA, you have to go there and apply again. And every time you have to pay the fees. So this WIPO facilitates international registration by creating one specific window, and once you apply in one particular language. See, in different countries you have to apply in different languages, but through this system you have to apply only once and only in one language, and they will facilitate you to get multiple intellectual property rights in multiple countries. That is definitely something which WIPO or World Intellectual Property Organization facilitates. And the other major function they are doing is about arbitration and mediation in all the intellectual property disputes. Okay, so that's all about what is intellectual property rights and how they have come up. Okay, now in the next video we will talk about patents. Till then, bye.